I'm Jeff Minsky. I'm Director of Emerging Media for OMD. My role as Director of Emerging Media is to kind of take the macro level forest view of the media world to look at the next 12 to 24 months as well as a little bit further out in terms of what technology is coming out, how that will impact media consumption, and what that means to the way we plan and buy media going forward. Well, I've been part of the digital world for over 15, actually close to 18 years now. And, early on, metrics was a huge issue, and we addressed it, and we're able to get at least directional knowledge in terms of particular sites and growth of those sites and audience makeup of those media partners. And that was fine and dandy when we were all accessing digital through one or two types of media platforms. Now that we have fragmentation across the board, whether it's smartphones, the explosion of tablets, whether it's going through a Roku device, through an Apple TV, going through multiple Xbox, PS4, as the world continues to add different ways to leverage or to consume media across various devices, it becomes incredibly complex to get a true read on how many people are viewing, what the makeup of those people are, and what frame of mind are they in when they're viewing a particular type of content, and then ergo, how do we match marketers and advertisers to those spaces? So it's really important that we recognize that there's a growing issue, that the old numbers are not exactly reflective of what's happening in the real world, and start to try and figure it out. I think over the course of the next 12 to 24 months, a lot of focus is going to be put in the cross-platform measurement, and there will be some areas that are fixed and some of them are much more difficult to fix. We still live in a world, on the macro level, symbiotic world of traditional media and digital media, where not all video is IP served, and to be able to understand reach and frequency goals and metrics on that nature still becomes much more of a difficult proposition than it will be, call it many years out, when all video is third-party ads served in IP, trackable and able to be targeted. I think the explosion and the velocity of acquisition of tablets and smartphone devices, the rate that it was adopted and the way as quickly as it changed media consumption was a bit surprising. Do I believe that we still live in a world of best screen available and that people will still migrate to larger screens, television per se, when they are faster processor chips or connected through AirPlay or being able to mirror your content? Absolutely. I still think best screen available plays a role. We haven't seen television sales fall off a cliff. They're slow, but they haven't fallen off a cliff. Now this area, the segment of millennials and post-millennials that are literally viewing 60 to 70% of their video content through these devices are developing habits, and it's going to be interesting on the long term to see what that truly means. Although I still, like I said, believe very strongly in best screen available will be the end result. I think that we are going to have to learn about the fragmentation of choices that they're making and the new brands that they're going to become loyal to. If you just look at some of their loyalty to certain YouTube artists and stars, that you and I may not have any clue who these people are.
And is it because the platform makes it so accessible to them?
Absolutely.
It's hard to watch YouTube on TV, on a so-called smart TV.
But it's currently, it's getting easier. And listen, YouTube probably needs a redesign for the television set to make it more applicable for television. But at the end of the day, you look at the way the video is being distributed globally, you look at the content that people have access to, the way they have access to the content, the multicultural makeup of our society, the fact that, yes, we still gather together and hold certain types of content in higher esteem. Look at the ratings for S.H.I.E.L.D. or The Voice or How I Met Your Mother or things like that. We still like to gather together to hear stories that we can communicate with each other about. And yet there is so much fragmentation, and so quickly we can access that information across any screen and then share it with our friends. It's really changing the way we communicate.
You noted that you've been around this digital space for about 18 years.
Yeah, I'm old.
Has it ever been more exciting than it is today?
It's never not been exciting. I mean, it hasn't, because it is so quickly evolving and changing. I think that anytime you have something new, you can get excited about it. And every day in this world, with new devices being launched and bandwidth and new types of compression technology that allow for so much more to happen, continues to make it an incredibly exciting space that marketers have to embrace. It is far more complex than it was even when we were just starting to try and figure out what this thing could be. And that complexity, while some people might really love that challenge, does make it a little more difficult in the interim until we figure this out on how to really make our marketers successful in this space.